So the whole purpose of this channel is to make life-changing returns by being an early-stage investor to a massive mega trend. Nuclear energy is in a nuclear renaissance. Every single massive organization on the planet, like Microsoft, like the US government, is investing heavily into nuclear energy. So it's a mega trend to the highest degree. We see assets like Peninsula Energy down in the dumps, right? So can we get life-changing returns from an asset like this? The answer is yes. Back here, when nuclear wasn't anywhere as big as it's going to be, or it's very likely to be, Peninsula did a move from $23 to $220. So it did a 10x literally in a few short months. That's what can happen to uranium miners, because uranium miners control the fuel that powers nuclear energy. And that fuel is in a multi-decade supply deficit. There isn't enough available. And so look at what happened very recently. From December 2024, it did a move of from $1 up to $1.58. So it did a 59% move. We're going to talk about why it did that move and why it cratered after and what comes next. Well, in mid-December, Peninsula Energy restarts uranium production at Lance project in Wyoming. So we did a deep dive on the Peninsula Energy company. We proved how they have uranium in the ground. It's just a matter of time before they get it into production and start cash flowing. So in mid-December, this was massively bullish news. Peninsula Energy was restarting its uranium production at Lance. Peninsula is anticipating 600,000 pounds of uranium production at Lance during the 2025 ramp-up year, down from its earlier forecast of 700 to 900,000 pounds. And so they're still expecting hundreds of thousands of pounds of uranium in 1 year. That is massive for this asset. Now, on January 30, 2025, we had some bearish news. Peninsula Energy delays the Lance uranium project commissioning. This was very bearish news. Peninsula Energy's Lance project CCP commissioning is delayed to June 2025. The company expects a production guidance downgrade and seeks additional funding. So these are the facts. They still have lots of uranium in the ground. It's just going to take longer to get it out of the ground. So the stock is cratering on this news, but the long-term fundamentals of this asset really haven't changed, except for the fact that they're going to have to raise more capital now, which is painful for short-term holders of this asset. But if they can get into production massively in 2025 and beyond, the bull story is totally intact. So they're not going bankrupt anytime soon. Yes, there's short-term pain, but they're about to become a uranium producer. That is massive. If the price of uranium skyrockets, the profitability of this company skyrockets, their ability to raise more capital increases. So yes, it's just an extremely high risk, high reward asset at this point. Long term, I would say there isn't that much risk. Short term, plenty of risk because they're going to have to dilute their shareholders. So yes, it's extremely painful, but that's just an update on Peninsula. Again, high risk, high reward. We don't know if they're going to get into production in June 2025. They keep kicking the goalposts, but if they do, that's incredibly bullish for this asset. The fact remains, though, they have exposure to a massive amount of uranium in the ground. And the longer they wait, the more valuable that uranium is going to be, because we're in a multi-decade supply crunch, as we've covered. Now let's talk about another asset that we did a deep dive on about a month ago, Lightbridge Corporation. Here's some recent updates. Lightbridge partners with Oklo to explore co-locating fuel fabrication facilities. One of the leaders of Oklo Inc. is Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, which just announced a $500 billion supercomputer that they're building in partnership with Oracle and SoftBank. And Donald Trump was super excited to announce that mega project. So OpenAI owns ChatGPT, incredibly valuable AI software. And the founder of OpenAI is a leader at Oklo. And the founder of OpenAI is partnering with Oracle. And so it's only likely that Oracle is going to be using Oklo, which is a small modular reactor company, which will cause a massive amount of revenue for this very well-connected asset, Oklo. Well, guess what's now a beta play on Oklo? Lightbridge partners with Oklo to explore co-locating fuel fabrication facilities. Lightbridge signed a memorandum of understanding with Oklo, which will explore the feasibility of co-locating a commercial Lightbridge fuel fabrication facility at Oklo's site and identify ways to collaborate on recycling nuclear waste. This is a massive partnership for Oklo. Oklo is not big into the recycling nuclear waste game, but they're partnering with Lightbridge to make it happen. Massive for this asset. That's why the price skyrocketed. When I did a deep dive on this asset, the price was $8. Now it's $14. It's skyrocketing, right? It's a beta play on Oklo. Lightbridge stock soars to a 52-week high of $14 amid stellar annual growth. The stock's ascent to this new high underscores the market optimism about the company's future and its role in the evolving energy sector. This is February 12th, 2025. This is an even bigger catalyst for this asset. Lightbridge successfully co-extrudes a demonstration coupon sample with uranium, zirconium, alloy, and cladding. So they're getting closer and closer to their dream of recycling uranium fuel. And this is just giving the market confidence that it can achieve its dream and be a massively successful revenue-generating partner of Oklo Inc. and other small modular reactor companies. Incredibly speculative at this point. Expect massive volatility, but that's where we are currently. That's why this asset is skyrocketing.